Hey guys, welcome back. So this video we're gonna fix the bug that we found in the last video about the menus not working when you go back to them after the first time. So this one's totally my fault and just poor planning, and I mentioned earlier how a lot of the managers and the way the code structured is really poor, and this is my first time doing like a video series, so I didn't really plan it out. Usually I just make stuff and then I'll refactor it and keep changing it as I go, but after this one I'll try keeping it a lot more structured and plan it ahead of time. So the reason this one's having a problem, if we go back here, is just kind of the way I structured and how we, in our main menu manager, how I just kind of mashed everything together, like the main menu manager, the score manager, stuff like that. That's where the problem is. So in here, because we changed it, or when we changed it into an instance here, and we keep it where it doesn't destroy on load, it works fine the first time because everything in this, where are we here, in the main menu manager, all these links are set. Actually not the main menu manager, but the buttons. So like on the start button, here we have a link to the main menu manager, and then we run start game. That's all linked properly, but the second time it runs, because we have don't destroy on load, it's actually a different instance of that main menu manager. So this link doesn't actually work anymore. So there is a bunch of ways to fix it, but I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of split the main menu manager and the score manager into a separate one. They should have been to begin with, and that would have saved this problem. So what I'm going to do is we'll go back to Unity. I'm going to make a score manager. Okay, and open this guy up, and just going to move most of the score code from this. So we don't want this as an instance anymore. I'm just thinking if we're going to want the score manager. I don't think we, you know what, we probably will, just since we need to call it in the game. So we're going to copy this into the score manager. And instead of this line, I'm just going to copy it. We'll paste it here. And then we just got to change this to score manager. Okay, so that gets us a singleton of the score manager. And then in here, what we're going to want to do is all the button commands we're going to leave. That's part of the main menu manager. This display high score, we're going to have to change this right away because we're going to move the save scores, as well as the, is this a new high score, and a add new high score. I'm thinking if we should move display, you know what, we'll leave display scores, high score in here, since that is kind of part of the main menu. And it already has the references. So we're going to save that. Save this high score entry one. We're going to want to move that to our score manager. And this has to go outside of the class. Okay, so display high score is still going to work. High score panel is still going to work. Get rid of update here. We can delete that commented code soon, but I'm just going to leave it for now. Okay, so in our score manager, we have to move our high score list. So if I would have planned it better, this should have been done from the start, but I mean, it happens and you got to move stuff around, and slowly every now and then I'll take time to just kind of set a refactor time in and go through and clean everything up and make it more readable. Once the main structure of the game's working, I know what I want to do. This one I didn't have a real set plan to begin with. I just kind of went with it video by video. I think this should be good, but in game controller, now we're basically where we have everywhere that we have main menu manager, we're going to want to change this to a score manager. Now, I don't think we're going to need that at all, but I'm just going to leave it for a sec. I'll do my score manager. And in start, we'll get score manager. Okay, so if we go through, I'm just going to check everywhere that we have my main menu manager. So is this a new high score? That's got to be score manager. And add new high score, that's got to be score manager as well. I think that might actually be all of them. So let's try this out quick. Okay, no, we have, oh, okay, so in score manager, we need to add system again because we're using that serializable. Oops, just system. And, oh, okay, so just thinking how we're going to modify this. You know what, since we only need it for in here, and menu manager. Okay, so I'm just going to add like this, since we only need it for that method. It's loading and displaying them. All the work behind the scenes for the scores is done in the score manager. So this is fine. We can do it that way. Okay, let's see if that got rid of our errors. Looks like it's compiling now. I think we might have to do some work on the endgame menu, but we'll try in a sec. And my computer is just kind of locked up here. I'm not sure why my computer is sucking so bad, but give it a sec. Okay, so it's running now. So let's let the game end. And then we'll see if the menu still works. I think it's time to reboot. It's been a few weeks, so I will definitely do that before the next video. Okay, so we have one left. Oh, and off camera, I just changed the start score back to 1, just so we get rid of that. So we still had a bit of a bug there. I have to figure that one out, but we'll do that next. Okay, so the game's going to be over right away. And we got a null reference. Yeah, wow, this is really bad. Why is this giving null? So my score manager, we did find the score manager. And we made an instance of it, so it should be there. So I'm just going to run the game again. Let's start the game. And we don't have the score manager for some reason. Okay, so let's go back. Oh, we didn't even add the score manager, so that would be our problem. Okay, so we're just going to add an empty object. We'll add score manager component to it right away. Okay, so now that shouldn't destroy, so let's try this again. Also, while we're waiting for this, I'm just going to put too, if you guys want, if people are watching this, if they decide they want a more edited video where I cut out troubleshooting and things like that, let me know and I can start doing that. I figured I was just going to document the whole way I made it and, you know, show the bugs I have to fix and the bad things that I do and how I fix them. So just let me know either way. I'm good either way. Okay, so we got to set the game to not run when this happens, but let's just hit a submit button. Okay, so it worked. So we still have a bunch of bugs, but that's one. At least the scoreboards are working now. So I'll cut this video here and then we'll continue working on bugs in the next one.